contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. Conspicuous by his absence, again, is the Professor. We'll get to that in a minute. But my guest tonight is Draven The Blackbird King. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing, everybody? Draven's here. I'm here. Finally got here. We on Around the Turnbuckle, so let's do this.
Oh, man. Christopher Vance says, what's up, guys?
Chris, what's going on, Vance?
Tyrone Samuel says, couldn't wait for this. My man Draven, let's fucking go.
That's right. Ravens and Crows, let's go. Caw-caw!
All right, man. So, my favorite question to ask wrestlers is, your passion for the business, where did that come from for you? You would not be going in the ring and putting your body on the line for other people's entertainment. You have to have some kind of screw loose up there. So where'd that go for you?
Man, to be honest, just growing up watching wrestling, I always thought it was a great sport. I used to enjoy it. I still enjoy it to this day. Watching it on television, I'm a huge fan of the business. To see what those guys were doing when I was a kid was just like larger than life, Those guys helped me out throughout childhood. I'm speaking to guys like, my dad always had old tapes and stuff. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair's, Shawn Michaels, the list goes on, you name it. And I just grew up always watching wrestling in my household. I'm my mom's only son, so it was no competition for that. So it was just all me, and it was just something that, that's match fell. But it was just something that I told myself, if I ever got a chance to do in life, I would love to do that. And obviously I'm getting a chance to do it, and it's one of the best things I ever embarked on in my life. Wrestling is great.
I hear that, man, because, when I was a kid, I used to sit in front of a mirror with, a brush and used to pretend to be Howard Finkel or Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah. That's how it started.
Getting to get into the ring and be able to ring announce has been a dream come true to me on any level.
Yeah.
So you're just starting to fly now. You're just starting to soar. So where did you get your training? Who trained you? And while you're talking, I'm going to bring the Professor on here because he is backstage.
All right. So I started out in CZW, it's Combat Zone Wrestling. I started out there last year, actually in June. Well, this year, this year, actually in June. Full time. I've been going to training 4 days out the week. They got a great training program. Different trainers throughout the week. Each day is a different trainer. The trainers that I trained under is DJ Hyde, Gabby Gilbert. I trained under Deshaun Pratt, Nate Wallace from the Rep, Aaron Ash, and a host of other trainers. I like how they switch it up because you learn something new all the time. And we was down in there just grinding, just going hard. It was kind of difficult at first. And every time I left out of training, I was telling myself, wow, I think this is one of the hardest things I ever started to embark on in my life, because it's nothing like when you watch it on television. Like you see it on TV and you just like, oh yeah, you just pick a guy up, or oh yeah, you can body slam. It's so much mentality into this business, and I respect every performer that's on television, every performer that's not on television, anybody that laces up a pair of boots, put on a pair of tights, trunks, whatever it is, and step in that ring. You have to have a full mental capacity of this business, because it's so much that goes into it. And that's the first thing that struck me as far as training, because, God gifted me athletically to do things, but it's more than just being athletic. You got to have that mental down pack to be able to look at the crowd and to focus on what they're doing and how to display energy back to them and pull energy from them, and know what moves that you're going to do next, and watch out for what your opponent's doing, and keeping time. And it's just so much that goes into that canvas to create that picture. And I fell in love with it. Like I was bitten by the bug, and I've just been going ever since.
So before I ask my next question, man, let me introduce you to the professor. There's
Hi,
the professor.
What's going on, Professor? I like that backdrop. I was saying earlier, you got the cool backdrop. And now that I got you on there, I got to ask, who is that ultimate figure behind here? Because on the glass, I can't see, but who's that ultimate figure?
It's the Undertaker.
Ah, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. That's cool. That's cool. That's the only one you got?
For the Ultimates, yeah, I kind of collect Taker, and Taker's my guy. I can't.
There you go. I got to get a Taker. I got an ultimate Taker. I got to get a Taker. Yeah, I got a few of the ultimates.
Chris Vance got another comment. He says, "That's awesome. We all dreamed as kids watching wrestling, and maybe what it would be like to be a wrestler. Glad to see your passion, your dream coming true."
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is that. He said it right. This is like a dream come true. This is one of the things in my life that I really focus on. Said I'm gonna do this, and just been putting in the hard work, grinding and training. Like I said, 4 days a week down at CZW. It paid off a lot. I'm not saying I know everything from that time, but I'm still grasping and I'm still learning. And the more I get in that ring, you learn something all the time. Whether if you win, whether if you lose, you learn something. So I just try to take everything that I learned from the trainers that I was blessed to be around, and it's an awesome group, an awesome team down there. Like I was fortunate to fall in their hands and have them groom me. Like I had like my character name, and I had like my identity and everything, but they put a lot of art, they put a lot of color to that, like to blend out what you see now before you, and it's more that's going to blossom out. I'm not fully at the full blossom yet, but just it's big up to those guys down there at CZW. It's a great place to be training down there. I recommend anybody that's looking forward to get in the business, if you're in the New Jersey area, or if you're out of the area, if you're willing to travel and put in that hard work, Combat Zone Wrestling is where's it at to get your feet wet and start off on the ground.
Yeah, that's something we always talk about with people is so many people, and I have people even come to me as a commentator and be like, how do I break in? What do I do? And I always say, like, well, I'm the worst person to ask, because I asked backwards, got into it, and didn't do the normal stuff you're supposed to do. Neither did Al. It's like we knew somebody and we weren't trying to take bumps. So that was easy. But I always say though, it starts with schooling. It starts with training. It starts with making sure that you go somewhere where somebody knows what they're doing. Because there's a million people anymore, it seems like, that'll go, "Oh yeah, I'll train you." Yeah. And people think everything's created equal, and it's like, no. Do they have a school? How many years have they been in the business? There's somebody there. I know people that have been in the business a year or 2 years, and they're like, "Oh, I'll train you." It's like, but you've only been in the business 2 years. You're still kind of training yourself. How are you going to turn around, train other people? But yeah, you definitely got in with a good group. I know those names. I don't know them personally, and I haven't seen too much of them, but I know from being around the scene, I know those names, and I know those are guys that are vets and reputable.
Right, and like to touch on that, like every time I was in there training with them, I can feel see what attracted me to CZW was the passion. Like I remember looking online like for school to go train at and everything, and I think it was like the mission statement that DJ had in there talking about. He said, if I can remember correctly, I think he said, "I'm passionate about training the future of this business." And that right there just hooked me, because that's what I was looking for. Somebody that's passionate to say, "I'm really going to show you. It's not going to be easy." It reminds me of that movie Bloodsport when Van Damme started training with the trainer. And, in the beginning, he was getting his butt kicked, and that's just how it is. It's hard. But if you commit to it and you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to put in the time and you got the passion yourself, because I seen that people can have passion on one end, but it's a two-way street. You got to have passion for it yourself. Because
Yeah.
being in class, I seen not to speak bad on anybody, but I seen students come in, the class size real big, and before you know it, it diminished down. Like people just not passionate about it. And I kept telling myself, like, remember that, like, every day, we all got lives out here. We got to do 9 to 5s and everything like that. But I just kept pushing myself and just kept maintaining, just kept going. And I just kept telling myself, keep that passion, keep that fire, keep the drive, study, learn, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be at. Like I said, the path is not over. I got bigger heights and bigger things that I want to get to. Of course, we all know WWE,
Yeah.
signing a contract to wrestle on television. That's the goal. But I'm working my way there, trying to get there.
Draven, did you come from a athletic background before you started training to be a wrestler?
I could say that. I'll be honest with you because we're on the internet, we're live, and I just want to keep it real and keep it live. My athletic background consists of a lot of street things. What I mean by that, in a good way. I'm talking about like playing like street football, playing like street basketball. I never really like played on a high school team or played on a basketball team. Only thing I did do is I played softball. I am a softball champion. I got a nice pitch and I'm good at that. So and I ran track and everything, but like sports like football and basketball, I kind of like really was like playing them on the streets, playing them real good, and I learned how to do flips and everything like that. I took up a little few years of martial arts. Maybe I made it to a yellow belt. I'm the baddest yellow belt in the world. After I got the yellow belt, I'm like, that's it. I don't need anything else from that point. I got my certificate to prove it if anybody out there want to doubt me. But I'm the baddest yellow belt in the world. I was thinking about making that a moniker, something I can use. But yeah, that's far as my athletic ability go. I'll just see something that I might think is cool, and I've always been gifted enough to see it and try it and do it, and it works.
Well, the professor and I got a small dose of you back in January at 3WA. But like, and it was a small dose. It was a battle royal type situation where there was a lot of guys involved or whatever. But like,
Yeah,
we did see the athleticism there, and
right.
so you consider yourself. I'm sure you consider yourself a high flyer, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's fun in the air. I'm a bird. I gotta be a high flyer.
So with that in mind, as you train, do you focus a lot on that, or do you try to get through the basics first and then work on that on your own time, or like how does that work?
That's a great question. To be honest with you, it's very exciting once you're in that ring to start wanting to bounce around and get up on the top rope and jump off. And but truthfully, I started focusing on, and I'm still focusing on the basics. I had a great wrestler right now in CZW, by the way. His name is Matt Quay. I don't know if you're familiar with him. You should be.
The American Hammer.
Yeah, American Hammer, Matt Quay. I remember he told me personally. He said, if you want to make it in this business, focus on your basics. Focus on your lockups. Focus on your wrist locks, your head locks. Get perfect, nice bumps. Run the ropes. Focus on the basics. And once you focus on the basics, and you can do the basics, you can give and take the basics or whatever, then you can start moving up to focus on other things. So much as it was tempting to do those things, like to start jumping off the rope, because you in the ring and you feel like a kid, like, oh man, I get to do all this stuff. I kind of really tried to nail myself down and stay grounded. And a true story, actually, DJ got a drill in his Thursday class, and it's a top rope drill, where you stand up on the top rope and everybody got to squat like 25 squats. And when you get to like 15, and DJ, he's a big, strong guy. He starts running the ropes and hitting the ropes real hard. And it feel like you on the Eiffel Tower. And the first time I was up there, I was like, when I was on the ground, I'm like, this would be cool. It's just easy. I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous. I was like, oh, smack. And I was like doing like real low squats, and I was mad at myself because I didn't expect that. And he called that his way of breaking people in to say, like, I'm gonna see the fear in them. And then when I made it through the 25 squats, like hopefully, prayerfully, I made it through that. Thank God. And I'm thinking like, all right, I'm about to just climb down. He's like, no, jump down. And I'm like, land on my feet. He's like, no, take a bump or take a dive roll. They call it a T-grade roll. And I'm like, from here? And he's like, yeah. Oh man, the first time I did that, I bailed out. I just jumped down. And I was so mad at myself. Like, I was so mad because that was one of the drills that snuck up on me, and I wasn't prepared for that. And I remember that day in class, like after DJ was talking and he gave everybody the insights of the day and everybody left, I went up to him personally and I was like, I want to do that drill again. I want to do that drill again. I didn't like my performance. I didn't like that. And he was like, oh, we're going to have plenty of time to do that. Trust me. So anytime we got to that top rope drill and started doing the squats and dived down, by the second time I was ready for it. I asked a friend of mine in class. His name was VST Varel. So I asked him. I was like, "Yo, how was you good at doing that?" And he said something about a boosie ball. I think it's called. It's like a ball that you can stand on to balance yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That balance ball. He was like, "Oh, you can get that." So I was like, "All right." It costs a little grip, like 100. So I never got that. Instead, when I got to the house, I started standing on the edge of my couch, and I started standing up there and then dive rolling off and doing some squats. But before long, I got it. It became like a breeze, and that's one of my favorite things to do. It get you good with balance on the ring. You got to get your balance in the ring.
Now, Professor, I have done that. I have done flying elbows off the top of the couch, but I was probably 10 years old.
Hey, there we go. That's where it starts at. I remember doing that too, jumping off the couch. I ruined so many of my mom's couches and so much of her furniture, and I got in trouble for it so much. But it was just like once I saw a dresser and the couch, it was like a combination. Jump on the couch, have a good time, man. That was good old days right there.
Here's a question from Christopher. Says, how did you come up with your finishing move, or do you have more than one? Jersey Strong, because he's a Jersey guy too. So's the Professor.
Yep.
Glad to hear
He's
your
originally
love
from
for the
Jersey.
sport. Keep learning and getting better. Keep believing. So, finishing move. What is it for Draven the Blackbird King?
Oh man, this is gonna be real good. I like this question. All right. I'm Draven the Blackbird King. That's who I am. So all my finishing moves revolves around just that, being a blackbird. The first one I do, if you're not familiar with it, you should be. It's the most deadliest move in all the sports entertainment. That's the Raven Splash. Basically, it's a variation of the frog splash, but in my own variation of it. I climb to that top rope once my opponent's down. I see him down there. I stand up. I get the people to start going to caws, and after that, I'm up in the air. Boom, you're not kicking out of that. So the first one I do is the Raven Splash. And all this is patented, by the way, too, if anybody out there get any funny ideas. Hey, you got to.
Trademark.
Yeah, trademark, right? So,
Protect yourself.
yeah, protect yourself, right? So, I do the Raven Splash, and my trainer Gabby told me have a variety of four finishers. One is a high flying move, so that's the Raven Splash. The other one is the striking move I do. It's basically a variation of the super kick, but it's called the crow's foot. Yeah, the crow's foot. Yeah, so I start G'ing up in that corner, and I got you right there. You're not getting out of that one. I got in the a submission moves. He told me have a submission move. I got two of them. One it's called the crowbar. Yeah, it's a variation of the Fujabi armbar. I do that once I get you down. And the other one I do is it's called the crow cutter. It's basically I pick you up, start from a suplex. And once I get you up in the air, I turn around to a cutter, and I just drop with you, and that's it. After that, you're not kicking out of that. So the crow cutter, that's pretty unique move.
Like that.
Yeah, it's pretty unique.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, that's a nice move right there. I just got it. I just did it, and it was successful. In DCW. I was just about to go pin the guy, but he rolled out and snuck out the ring because he knew he was done from that. So we got the crow cutter, the crowbar. We got the crow's foot, and we got the Raven Splash. That's my four moves right there. I was told I have four variations: a top rope, a submission, a striking move, and a power move. Try to be all around.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody get told in training for that. That's really good, but I can see why, because then you have a menu to pick and choose from.
Right.
There, and it's like, oh, the crowd's seems to be really into me flying. Okay, crow splash.
Right, right.
Or they're into the technical stuff. They want the mat wrestling crowbar, or
Exactly.
let me do some power. Like, yeah, that's great.
Exactly. And also too, not every move is gonna work on everybody. You know, I
Right.
mean, I can like for the crow cutter. You know, I'm like what 180. You know, 5'8", 180. I may be fighting a guy that's like 6'2", 300 pounds. It'd be
Yeah.
kind of really tough for me to pick him up and drop him in the car. I mean, I could get him. I mean, I'm always in the gym. I can get him, but
Right.
it probably wouldn't be feasible to try that and do that. So there, I would have the another variation of a move, or you know, if a guy's too big to really get down with the Fujabi armbar, that's a move that can really get anybody though. Because if I can wear your arm down, I can catch you with that throughout the match. I'll make you tap out on that one. That's a pretty hard move, and it really you can really feel that in your shoulder after that. So you know, not every move is going to work on everybody. So I think it's a good idea to have different variations. You know, you can
Yeah,
be
no,
well-rounded in the ring.
I agree, especially on that Fujiwara, because all you gotta do is cinch up on that thing, and
Oh yeah,
you got a
yeah,
legitimate ability to break
yeah,
someone's arm very quickly.
yeah. The first time I got put in that move, when I was mastering it and getting comfortable with it, it was Griffin McCoy. Yeah, he's a pretty big guy. He's a great wrestler too, and he put me in that move. I thought he didn't like me. I was like, "Yo, dude, like, what are you doing?" He was like, "I'm showing you the move." I'm like, "All right, you know, I guess is what it is." But man, I was like, "Okay, you know, that's a pretty tough move right there." From there, I was like, the light bulb just clicked, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna call that the crowbar. I like that, and you know, I got a variation where I haven't came out with it yet in one of my entries, but I don't want to spoil anything, but since we're on the subject, I'm going to start carrying a crowbar to the ring. You know, I did my research. I haven't seen too many people carry crowbars. I think last time I seen a crowbar being used in a match, I think it was Elimination Chamber, Drew McIntyre, and whatever that Elimination Chamber was. But yeah, I can put the crowbar and reach over my shoulder. I guess pull your arm with that. I'm gonna try to come up with a variation of a finisher for that too. But yeah, I'll try to be pretty deadly in the ring.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, that's really good stuff. I love how old school a lot of your thinking is, because I think there's so many guys now that they're not remembering that it's supposed to be a simulation of combat. That it
Right.
becomes more about getting their shit in and maybe doing like a gymnastics routine or something. And it's like it's pretty, but your casual fan is probably not going to pay attention to it, or
Right.
they're going to say, or they're going to register like, okay, yeah, that was cool, that was pretty and all that, but I
Right.
came to watch a fight, and this doesn't look like a fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'm a
it's
type.
supposed to look like
I
a
could
fight.
do a lot of. I could do a lot of flashy stuff in the ring. Most of it I haven't pulled out yet, like a lot of flippy stuff and things like that. Because I learned how to flip growing up and everything, do different type of backflips, front flips, and all that stuff. But like my trainers taught me, Gabby taught me, if you could do that in a match, and at a certain time as the match is called for that, maybe if that's your opponent thing and that's your thing, you can pull that out. But nobody wants to really come see like a parkour show. You know, we
Right.
want to see a wrestling match. You know, like maybe one or two moves is good to pull out and everything like that, or to get the crowd started off with that. But at the end of the day, I think you can get much over with a clothesline, a drop kick, or maybe just a straight punch to the jaw and drop a guy, and get a huge pop off that, rather than doing maybe like 10 flips before you even get a pop off anything. So, and I seen that to be true. You know, I saw some matches where I've been to different promotions and guys go out there and start flipping around and doing a lot of stuff. And then you see like a guy that knows what they're doing go out there and wrestle and do something real simple. And you could be in the back and just watching on the monitor and just see a huge pop. And you was like, wow, he just gave a guy a clothesline, and they just popped. He just got him in a headlock and just held it. And they're just going crazy, you know. So I'm kind of big on the old school stuff. I think that's, you know, I think that stuff is very still relevant from the greats that put it out there. You know, I try to watch a lot of old school wrestling, a lot of NWA stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of old New Japan stuff. I try to watch, you know, just to keep fresh and try to bring things back that a lot of people's not using.
I found stuff on Tubi like a few months ago, even like Gorgeous George and Lou Thez, like some of those really old compilation tapes they used to make, like Tubi put them up. And I mean, they're like complete matches, and it still holds up. You can still learn a ton from
Ah,
those old matches and those guys. Like, yes, it's a much slower style than what it is today, but the psychology of it and whatnot is still super relevant in my mind.
yeah. That's true. The old school stuff is still relevant to this day. I mean, it's a lot. It's always good to evolve the business from
Mhm.
how I'm looking at it and come out with new things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
No.
no, I think the audience out there and the viewership out there is always going to gravitate to some classic stuff that they saw before. And as you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with the classics. I like putting in new stuff, like I said, changing the names of different moves. But as you can see, even my finishers, they're moves that you know guys do already. RVD frog splash, Eddie Guerrero frog splash. D'Lo Brown frog splash, Shawn Michaels super kick. That's one of my favorite wrestlers. Also, Shawn Michaels. I study
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff. He was a great in-ring performer, and the thing that attracted me to Shawn Michaels was that he can wrestle anybody. Like I was like one of my favorite matches I seen him have was I think it was a match against him and Vader, and I
Oh,
remember
yeah, that was
watching.
a real
Yeah,
good match.
I remember watching that, and I'm like, man, Vader's going to like kill this guy. And I think it was Goldust. Goldust had a match right before him. It was Goldust and I think Undertaker. They had like a casket match or something. No, yeah,
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it was
Goldust and
a match.
Mankind. Yeah, and then Undertaker came out the casket, and then that match immediately after that was Shawn Michaels and I think it was Shawn Michaels and Mankind or Vader, but I just saw how he adapted in that match and just like it was just like he was just fighting Vader like he was a big guy, and I'm just like, wow. Even when he had the Iron Man match against Bret Hart, like everybody thought he was going to move fast, he just started being technical. So I liked how he adapted to each opponent. If you're technical, I'm gonna be technical, but I'm gonna be better technical than you. If you're high flying, I'm gonna be high flying, but I'm gonna be better high flying than you. If you're a brawler, and I'm gonna be a brawler, but I'm gonna be a better brawler than you. And I kind of add that to my repertoire, for the most part as I'm going through each matches and everything. Yeah, I think that's a great strategy for me.
All right, it's very refreshing to me to hear you say about caring about the old school. A lot of new
Yeah,
wrestlers only know what they know. They don't go back and they study.
yeah,
Shawn Michaels is a great person to study. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
Shawn Michaels could wrestle a mop and I'd be entertained.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, like you said, showed you that a guy his size could have
right,
a great match with a guy
right,
the Undertaker size or a
right,
Vader,
right, right, right.
and that I mean, obviously that influences smaller high flyer guys to be able to be like, hey, I'm not saying be Shawn Michaels, but I'm saying like, hey, this guy showed that you don't have to be the biggest guy. You just have to be the best at what you do.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I try to wrestle by that model. I try to even train by that model. Like I used to always tell myself every time I went down to CZW, because it's a lot of stat guys down there. Like you got a lot of great talent down CZW. Like just a lot of great talent that I was around, and those guys were on levels that I was just like, wow. I know it's going to take time and training to get to those levels, but I always told myself every time I stepped in through those doors and I walk through that building, I see those three letters on the window. I said, I'm not here to be better than anybody. I'm here to be better than myself. Whatever I did yesterday in training, I am here to be better than that. And I kept that model to myself personally, and I just executed that every time. Some days in training was rough. It was kind of difficult. I left without maybe getting it down, but I came back the next day and I practiced on that, and I feel like I got good at that. And when they taught something new, I practiced on that, and I got good at that. So it was like a step every day, and I'm still taking advantage of anytime I can get a lesson in there to train. And we had so many trainers come down there that was willing, like, to take their free time to come down and teach you. Another one of my favorite trainers, Tarzan Duran. Oh man, he's an
No.
awesome guy. Oh yeah. I see by the reactions, like this guy. And
Yeah, you know
this
this
guy.
guy.
Yeah, that guy is, man. He's just off the charts. Like the stuff
Mhm.
he's doing, and his training is like before he even start physically training you, like he's gonna blow you up. Like your cardio better be up. Like I remember when I first trained with him, before we even started the training, my quads was on fire. I'm like, I could barely stand right now. And he was like, all right, we're gonna run some 10x10s. We're gonna do some running around the ring. And I remember one day we got locked out of training because somebody didn't show up to unlock the door. I guess it was miscommunication or whatever. And he showed up to train with us, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, I guess that's time to go home." And he was like, "No, we're not going home. I got some water bottles in the car. We're gonna be right out here in the parking lot." Like we went right in the parking lot. We was doing, we was
He
doing.
is a different animal, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
something else.
man, he is something else. But I love that guy. He taught me a lot, and I continuously learn from him. And it's an honor and a privilege to be taught and trained by those guys. You know, I feel very confident whenever I step in the ring with what they taught me. You know, like I said, Tarzan Durant, Gabby Gilbert. She has a very rich knowledge of the business, 20-year history. She's a great character person to help you out with your character. She's a great person to help you out with your in ring. I'll even learn from Aaron Ash, the CZW champion. He taught me a lot of in-ring psychology, basic stuff. His basic training is good. Nate Wallace from the Rep just teach you how to be like hard in the ring and teach you how to focus. And he's very Nate Wallace is very like strict in a positive way on getting you better. Like if you're not doing a bump right, he's gonna come up to you, and he's like a big guy. He got like intimidating presence if you don't know him, and it's the first time. And he's from a tag team called the Rep. Him and Dave McCall. So he'll come up to your face and he'll stand there and he'll just be like, "What's your problem? Like you're not bumping right. Like what will it take to get you to bump right?" And I seen him do that to guys, and they're just standing there like, I don't know. He was like, "Come on, do this now." And he was like, "You can do it." He was like, "Sorry, class, we're gonna have to take some time on this." And everybody start cheering. But before you know it, the guy is actually bumping like boom, like snaps, and I'm like, wow, this is good. So like I said, I feel thankful just to be in great hands and as far as coming into business and being around those group of guys as far as training and helping me out. And Deshaun Pratt also is a great guy that's great with teaching you lucha and teaching you different high flying stuff like that. And like I said, I'm just grateful to be training out of CZW. It's a great place to learn and train.
So let me get these comments in, man. Christopher says the skill set, the high flying, the technical move, that's the new wrestling, what us as fans love. And then he said, what do you consider your best match so far? Best opponent or best perform match in your mind?
Is he talking about speaking of my personal matches?
Yeah, like you.
Okay.
You were in.
Oh man, I got a few so far. My first one I would have to say. Let me see. Let me get this. Let me get this correct. Uh, yeah. Okay. My first match that I think was real, like was kind of special to me. That I was like, yeah, I'm glad I got that one in. Was against Boom Hart. That's my guy. We grew up in the same area, same city, Camden, New Jersey. And when I first came in, I seen him. He's a guy that was like already at that level, well-rounded, travel, great wrestler, got a rich knowledge of the wrestling. And I always was like training. I'm like, man, I'm not going to speed up things. I'm not going to rush things. But if I can ever get to just up to where he's at almost, and hopefully have a match with him, man, that'd be great. And fortunately, this year I was able to have a match with him at DCW on June 8th at the Comic Con, and we had a great match. And I was just like, when I was in the ring with him, I was just like, wow, like I had to stay focused, but at the same time, I was like, all right, this is happening. Like I'm having a match against Boom. Like this was good because I always liked the way he wrestled. Like I said, he got a rich knowledge of wrestling, and it was just an honor to be in the ring with him. And when the match was over, I told him that. I shook his hand. I was like, yo, it was an honor to be in the ring with you. Like we're both from Camden, and we're out representing and putting Camden, New Jersey on the map. And for two of us to be coming from where we come from, out of that city, and doing something positive with our lives, and we got to work together, that was a real special one for me. The second one I got to work with that was good was let me see, who was real good for me to work with. Oh yeah, I got to work with Samuel Thompson, out of CZW.
Ah,
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Like that match,
He's such a nice
that
guy.
match, man. And it was everything like aligned that day. That was on July.
Prima Donna Prince.
Yeah. That guy, man. He's a great guy. He can get in the
Mhm.
ring with anybody and just go. Like
Yep.
I used to watch him in training. He'll come in
Agreed.
all cool. Yeah, he'll come in all cool. Got his hair all out. You know what I'm saying? He already sweating and everything, chewing his gum, just making every drill look like a breeze. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's all right there. So I was fortunate to have a match with him on at CZW at our Love Park shows was running in Philly on July
Okay.
20th. And man, it was just like we was in there just flowing and everything. And I think that day I got a little bit too excited. I went up on the top rope. I attempted to do a a Spanish fly, and let's just say me don't speak no Spanish too well because
Man,
I got through with it like I say a good 85%, but I kind of what they call it a scorpion. I kind of scorpion myself, but
oh,
I kept going through the match, and you know it was great. And after the match, I kind of shook his hand. I gave him a hug. I was like, "Yo, this was." Because that was my first CZW match against him. So, and
Okay.
it was a great match. You know, like I'm not too much of a guy to really focus on like wins and losses at this point in my career.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just really focused on the experience, getting off what I learned, and actually learning in the ring. You know, to me, I never took a loss because every time I wasn't successful, it was a learning experience. And Samuel taught me in that match. You know, he taught me a lot in how to ground yourself, how to stay focused, how to keep going. He kept a cool composure. And when I thought I had him, when I thought I had the upper hand against him, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm bugging with the crowd. I'm like, yeah, I just see him at the glance of my eye, looking all calm, looking all demeanor, and before you know it, he came away with the dub. So, hey, Samuel, I'm looking for my rematch whenever you're ready. You know, if you got the time or whenever we cross paths again in CZW, we're gonna do it. And my third,
CCW is coming up, aren't they? In the beginning of October.
oh yeah, we got some
yeah.
stuff going on. We got some stuff going on. Speaking of that, we got Breakout. It's a new series that CZW's having right now. It's called CZW Breakout, and that's a great place for talent such as myself and a whole lot of guys that came up training with me to actually get in the ring and get some experience and wrestle with some good top guys. My first CZW Breakout match I had was against Anthony Gangone, and that ties into the question. Also, one of my favorite matches I had. It was my
Yeah.
first three favorite matches. That guy, man, he's amazing. Like he's amazing. Like when I found out I was going to be on the card with him, you know, I stood up that whole night. I just was trying to like study and focus. I didn't know how I was going to prepare myself. And when we got in the ring, you couldn't prepare for a guy like that, you know. And he taught me so much. It was like a learning experience on the job, you know. And that was a great match. Also, I shook his hand after the match. I told him thank you. I appreciate for working with me. It was an honor working with you. And you know, if we ever cross paths again, I would love to work with you. But that's one of my favorite matches. So Boom Harden, Samuel Thompson, and Anthony Gangone right now as of today. So, you know, that's good. And yeah, CZW got a lot of stuff coming up and going on. We got a breakout coming up. Actually, this Saturday coming up. We
I
got
was
a
gonna say
breakout.
it's this Saturday.
Yeah, it's right in Quakertown, PA. We're coming back again. We had a nice show the first time. Stack roster, stack card, and I believe we're going to do the same thing again. It's going to be more action, more impact, and it's just going to be crazy. Like every time CZW, it never fails. It just always gets better and better. So I'm looking forward to the Saturday. I don't know who my opponent's going to be yet. I'll probably find out later on towards this week, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We also got something coming up in the 26th. Well, let me backtrack. We got something coming up on the 19th. We're going out to Houston. We're going to be out in Houston on the 19th. So I'll probably make that trip, but then again, I'm not sure. But if I can, I'll still go out there, pay my dues, do whatever I got to do. So we got that going on. We got the 26th, October 26th, in Scranton, PA. We're going to
Dude,
be down there.
that interests me.
Yeah.
Because correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
but it's either never happened or it's been quite some time since CCW has ventured to Scranton, and they're labeling that
Oh,
show the 570,
Yeah. I've been seeing that. Yeah, I looked at the
which
flyers.
means
Yeah.
it's almost like they're invading.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna be the one to spoil too much plans. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's coming. You know, that's gonna be a big show down there. You know, that's gonna be good. We're also gonna have D. Brian Kendrick's gonna be there. I think he's gonna be doing the seminar also for that.
There
So
you
that's
go.
gonna be huge.
oh,
You know,
excellent.
that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be big. So. Yeah, those CZW got a lot going on, a lot coming up, you know. So I'm looking forward to being a part of everything that I can be a part of to like contribute and help out to make the show bigger, whatever I can do.
Yeah, man. So what else do you got going on besides that? I mean, is it just CCW right now, or are you looking to spread out? Like, what do you do? What
Oh
else are you
yeah,
up to?
I got a host of things going on. When I'm not at CZW, you can catch me at DCW, that's Dynamite Championship Wrestling. I just had a great show there this past weekend. We came off of Stairway to Glory. That was cool. They got a lot of great things going on down there. They got great talent down there, and that's actually where I actually first got my first in-ring experience at around there. I got in a lot of reps down there and everything like that. I got permission from CZW to work there, and I just want to say shout out to the Klein's family, David and Heather Klein, Zach Connor, the president down there. They treated me so well. They still take care of me down there to this day, and I just love wrestling for DCW. So you can catch me there. Some dates coming up there. I also wrestle at Lucha Libre Promotions. That's Javier's promotion. I've been out there. This will be coming up on November the 8th. I'll be going back out there. We had a show that was supposed to be Sunday, actually, but it got postponed for whatever reasons. I was looking forward to going down there. And man, I just love wrestling down there because I'm a huge lucha guy. And that's where, like how you said earlier, Professor, where I can get a chance to do my high flying stuff in there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they got guys down there like Tarzan Duran, just great talent down there. Just a whole bunch of guys and girls down there that's just great lucha wrestlers. Some of the best in the business. These guys travel, go down to Mexico, go back and forth all around the world. So when I first went down there, they took care of me, treated me well. I had a great match down there and everything. So I'm looking forward to going back down there. You can catch me October the 6th at POR. Hardcore wrestling, yeah, that's a great place, man. I didn't know I had like a death match type of hardcore wrestling in me, but actually wrestling there, I was just like I was kind of turned out like, yo, this is my thing. So you know, JJ Allen, Angel Metro, Mickey Knuckles, Tarzan Duran. You know, it's a whole lot of people down there. Kamikaze, you know what I'm saying, Sinister, those guys, Jesse Daniels. I mean, those guys are just professionals and great at what they do. I just respect deathmatch wrestling. It's not something that you can just jump into and say you can do it. It takes years to master and it takes years to be great at it. So, you know, CZW just came off their tournament of death, and I had the privileges of experiencing that firsthand, being ringside, helping out with the crew, and it's just like a euphoric feeling. It's like Woodstock, WrestleMania, the Super Bowl, all gathered in one. They're just like a huge draw of energy. So I got so much respect for deathmatch wrestlers and hardcore wrestlers for what they do. I maybe only have one or two in me that I would probably do. I'm not going to make that a full time thing. I'll probably do one or two matches if I get the opportunity to. But I want to be trained and be trained correctly on how to do that, to do it correctly. You know, before I do that. So it'll probably be maybe like next year. I'll probably do that.
Talk about the CCW fans down there. I mean, in the home base, like they are a bloodthirsty bunch. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, you are 100% correct. They know what they want to see. They know who they want to see. If you don't give them what they want to see, they will rip you apart. You know, like that's what and that's actually like the first crowd that I actually started going in front of, like when I was doing my ring security and doing things like that. And I'm seeing these guys. I mean, like if they love you, they love you. If they hate you, they hate you. In a form of way, still loving you, but they're going to show you that they hate you. Like CZW fans are like no other, and when they come out and when they show up, they're going to come out. They're going to show up, no matter if it's TOD, no matter if it's Cage of Death, no matter if it's Breakout or any show. They're going to be there and they're in the house. If we having a show in Quakertown, PA, I see some fans that's coming all the way from Baltimore, and I'm like, yo, like. They come from far, so no matter where we're at, they're going to come out and support. And I got much love and respect for the CZW fans. Thank you for coming out and supporting us, always being there for us. We would be nothing without y'all. So, yeah, just got a lot of things coming up, and we look forward to seeing more of the CZW fans showing love and support.
Chris is back again. He says, good luck moving forward. Represent where you're from. Keep grinding, keep learning, work hard, put in the time. Wish you the best. Great show.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me because that's the reason why I do this. Like I'm not jumping in this saying I'm the best. I just want to put in time. If anything, if I can ask for anything in return, it's just that I'm giving respect to the business, and I just want to be respected for what I do. You know, I'm not looking to be called the greatest or anything like that. I just want to be respected for a person that loved the business, that's willing to take my time and learn, respect everybody that came before me. You know, I think I got a good in-ring etiquette. I think I got a good backstage etiquette. You know, when I'm in the locker room and I see guys that have been in the business longer before me, I get up. You can have my seat. If you had a match before me and you come back from your match and I'm sitting down, I grab a water. You can sit down and have my seat. If I'm around these guys, I try to pick their brains and learn from people much as I can. And I don't care if you've been to the stars or just been in the business in the indies for 20 years. Like if you've been further than where I have, you got more experience. I'm honored to be in your presence and learn from you. And I'm just a sponge for this business and just want to learn much as I can learn. It's just a privilege being in this business. Like I said, I was happy to be able to put my mind to something that I said I wanted to do. And I'm doing it. And it's just a dream come true. And like I said, I thank you guys for allowing me to be on around the Turnbuckle. You know, when I reached out to you, Big Al, thank you guys for having me. I want to say I love platforms like this and any other podcasts out there that gives, as they call it, independent wrestlers, professional wrestlers, a voice, like, you know, to speak out and let people know that we out here trying to do what we got to do. And this is a rough business to put your body on the line and perform and travel up and down the road and, you know, perform for different crowds. So I'm thankful for platforms like this and for having me and a host of other people that do what I do. To speak out and express themselves and let the world know who we are and what we're doing. I think right now
it's our pleasure because that's what this has become. This
Right.
show was started 4 years ago by me and Keith there, and we started it like every other wrestling podcast out there. We're just going to talk about wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we started to check out what we have locally and see how much wrestling is in PA and New Jersey and New York. It's like it's crazy how much wrestling's out there on a weekend basis. Like you said,
Yes.
Tarzan Duran's wrestling, you know, Fridays, Saturdays, and twice on Sundays. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're right. He's crazy. But anyway, we've met all these great people. There's so many people involved in this great art, and that's what it is in art, that everybody connects with it, right? We all love it so much that whether you're in there doing your thing and putting your body out on the line, whether it's the professor sitting there calling your match play by play, whether it's I'm announcing you to the ring, whatever it is, we just crave it so much. But the thing is that what this has become is we love having guys like you come on here, tell your story, because if you don't not only get yourself out there, that's part of it, but the other part of it is I hope there's a wrestler watching or a guy who thinks about wanting to do this, watching, and they get to live, they get to find out what you went through, and is it really for them? Is it not really for them? Or they also get to pick your brain while you're sitting here telling their story, and that's
Right.
what this has become, and that's
Yes.
why we love it, and that's why we keep this thing going, man. We're on our 5th
Right.
year,
Yeah.
so
Oh, congratulations! Congratulations being on your 5th year. I wish you many
we're
more.
crossing into it. We started in 2020, but I'm saying come
Yeah.
May of 2020, come May of 2025, it'll be 5 years.
Oh yeah. That's good. That's good. Congratulations on that. I wish y'all much more. And like I said, no matter how far I go in this business, I'm always be willing to come back and
Oh,
be
we
on
check
shows
in
like
on you,
this.
man.
Yeah,
You're not.
yeah.
I don't care if you're willing, man. We're gonna take you
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm down for it, man. I'm down for it. Yeah, like I said, this business is fun, and I know it got its ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and everything's like that. But I'm having a great time being a professional wrestler. Like you said, if it's anybody out there that's looking forward to do it, I say, hey, you know what I'm saying, take the training, take it serious, have the passion, have the drive, and if it's something that you want to do, it's very possible. It's very good. If you find that's something for you, hey, go for it. You know, it's a great time to be a wrestler right now. It's even a more great time to be a fan of wrestling. I mean, you just
Yeah,
turn on television. I remember like 5 years ago, I was just telling my friend, like, man, I wish wrestling was on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
and it
And
kind
now
of
look,
is.
we got Monday Night Raw, we got NXT on Tuesdays, we got AEW on Wednesdays, we got TNA on Thursdays, we got Friday, we got SmackDown, we got pay-per-views on. I mean, it's just all week long. So it's just
Pay-per-views
like,
on Saturdays.
yeah, pay-per-views on Saturdays or Sundays. I mean, like 7 days a week throughout the whole month. It's just like all wrestling. So it's a high time for wrestling. It's a good time for wrestling. I'm just happy to be a part of this. I'm being spoken the wheel, just helping the wheel look pretty as it turns. That's all. Just happy to be a part of that. Oh, and speaking of that too, Professor, I got a question to ask you.
Sure.
What are you a professor? What are you a professor of?
Always get that one. I always say wrestling history. That's what I go for. Wrestling history.
Wrestling history.
I gotta give you that.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's good. We need a lot. I try to be a historian of the business too. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
We need
That's
it.
good.
I think the best performers are the ones that really study it and go back. And like I say,
Right.
go back and check out some of that stuff on Tubi that they don't necessarily have on the network, because
Right.
I really think that when not saying all of it is applicable, because obviously it's not, but I still think in terms of the psychology and the presentation and the stuff like that, that
Yeah.
stuff is still really applicable, because a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't using it anymore. And I
Right.
feel like the more you can bring out in front of an audience and make them go like, "Oh, holy shit, I haven't seen that before."
Yeah.
These are the guys that are going to stand out and really hook them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, the psychology of it. Like I said, one of the big things for me is connecting with crowd.
Yeah.
Once I'm in there, and if I can draw that connection between the crowd, and it's an art form. Like, it's something that you have to master. To get that reaction from the crowd when you're getting heat on you, and you see that front row all the way to the back row. If you could pull that energy and get them to start backing you up, to cheer for you, to come back, I mean, that's like a euphoric feeling. You got people that's feeling what you're actually feeling, and they're sitting there watching. But when you're getting beat up, when you're getting hit and everything, they're actually feeling that. And when you can get them to get behind you, to make you start wanting to come back and do your thing, man, it's a great feeling. I love that. People I look at that I think does that real great is guys like John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle was good at that. The Midnight Express, the guy, he was real good at just reaching out to the crowd, just reaching out and just getting them. I mean, like, it seemed like they would be like crying for him, or like don't hit my favorite wrestler, and then next thing you know, he's on a comeback. So I try to watch much of that as I can and put it into my art form, and just try to add so many pieces to it just to create the perfect picture.
Lawler's good at that too. Lawler was
Lawler. Yep.
come back too.
Yeah.
I got 3 questions left for you, sir, and they're real quick ones. Okay.
All right.
You say you're in Camden, right?
Yeah.
Question number 1: Sixers or Nets?
Oh man, I got to go with the Sixers. I mean, I got only reason because I'm an AI guy. I'm an Allen Iverson guy. So
Okay.
that's my reason why. I mean, if the Nets would have got Kobe back in the day, I probably would have went with the Nets.
Yeah.
They came close to getting Kobe back in the day, but it didn't happen. So I'm a Sixers
Imagine
guy.
that.
But
Can you
shout out to the
imagine that?
Nets. Shout out to the Nets because they had Jason Kidd. They had a whole host of guys out there. So but I'm gonna have to go with Sixers on that one. AI. I'm an AI guy.
All
Plus,
right.
plus
All
now
right.
there's that whole them going to Brooklyn thing. So there's a lot of people that are like, yeah,
Right.
just off that alone, you would be into the
All right.
net.
All right. All right. Eagles or Giants?
Yeah.
That's a tougher one.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
'Cause you're right on that line.
Yeah, I'm right on that line.
You must be a Cowboys fan.
Actually,
I'm right on that line. Fuck you, Dallas.
I mean, I'm a just jeez, I mean, because I'm close to Philly, I would have to say Eagles. But Giants is not too bad. I'm pretty much both on that one. Hey, Eagles, yeah, EAGLES. Let's go Eagles.
All right. And my last question, man, is there anything that we didn't talk about this last hour that you would like to right now?
I think we pretty much touched on a lot of subjects, but if I have to touch on anything, I would have to say, Draven is I'm out there. I'm looking forward to getting on different promotions, different shows to expand my expansion. I'm having a great time. I'm willing to work with anybody that's out there willing to work with me. You can reach me at my Gmail's right now backed up for some reason. I can't get into it, so I'm just going off my Facebook and my Instagram. You can reach me at Draven. That's DRAVEN TBC. At Facebook.com. You can reach me on my Instagram at TBC Drave DRAVE. That's if you want to for bookings or anything like that. I'm available. Long as I don't cross on my and what other promotions that I got going on, and yeah, you look forward to catching Draven out there. If you see me out there, if you give me a call, what I'm saying, shout me out and everything out there. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what the future holds. And I'm just trying, like I said, just trying to go far in this business. The whole goal was wind up on NXT, or Monday Night Raw. That's where the goal is at. So I'm just going to continue to keep working hard. I'm going to continue to keep learning. I'm going to continue to keep grinding. I'm getting better each match. And just perfecting my craft. I'm real in love with my craft right now, and I'm having the ball doing it. It's a huge passion.
All right, man. Listen, before we go, when we go off the air, don't go anywhere, okay? Because everybody always disappears on us.
Nah, I got you. I'll hang around.
All right. First and foremost, love the passion.
Yeah.
Love the fact that you study. You're a student of the game.
Thank you.
So whoever's training you has got you in the right mindset, right?
Right.
So we're anxiously going to follow your career. We are definitely going to have you back 6 months from now, maybe a year from now. And
Appreciate
see where
that.
you're at.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Just catch up with you because that's what we do. We always every time we have somebody on this show, and now have over 300 wrestlers on this show.
Wow.
Everybody who's ever been in it for a cup of coffee to WWE Hall of Famers, and
wow,
each of them has a very similar thing.
Right.
They love this.
Yeah.
They love this.
Right.
And we love this too. Professor, you got any parting gifts?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for your time, obviously. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me. It's getting a little dark outside, so I'm going to put a little light on me. If y'all don't mind. I was outside. It's getting a little dark.
Yeah.
But we cool.
Yeah. No, keep that passion, though. You got the right mindset, I think, and just stay hungry, stay humble, keep that passion, keep getting yourself out there, keep getting those new experiences and whatnot, and hopefully I get to call one of your matches one of these days.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, if I can make my way. Speaking of that, also, I think y'all got some. I think it's SWO, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all be affiliated with them.
Yes.
SWO, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to coming down there. If you guys know anybody or whatever, we could talk about it off air or whatever.
Wrestlers got more pull there than I do.
Hey, yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to spread my wings. Just get out there and do what I got to do. Looking forward to coming down there. If you guys got anything or wherever, I'm always available. And just to branch out and get the experience and the work much as I can work, travel much as I can travel, work for many promotions that I can work for. Just try to build up a name for myself. So yeah, I look forward to one day. Yeah, you call it my match, and that'd be great.
I'd love to announce you to the ring too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Professor, do you know who's on around the turnbuckle next week?
I do. Jeff Christian's going to be with us.
Jeff Christian, who
finally
is
had
a
to stop
commentator like
ducking him.
us. What's that?
You finally had to stop ducking him.
That's right. I finally had to stop ducking him. He is a big Buccaneers fan, so he's gonna rub my face in the fact that the Buccaneers beat the Eagles. But whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get there next week with Mr. Christian. In the meantime, same time next week, guys, 6 o'clock. Sunday. I know today's Monday. We had a special edition. Coming up next, if you still want some more wrestling, tune into our boys over there at Three Beards of Wrestling. That's
right. They're getting ready to
go into
come
the little
on.
search engine there on YouTube and Google Three Beards of Wrestling. Those guys are dynamic. They're awesome. So go check them out. They are coming up right now on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern every Monday night. But we'll be back next Sunday at 6 p.m. with Jeff Christian. In the meantime, for the Professor and Draven the Blackbird King. I'm Big Al. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you then.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile!
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles